Yeah, inside Intel, we believe that over time, everyone should have access to computer technology. And broadband is one of the big limiters. So if the computer companies and the enablers work with the Telecoms and the Broadband Commission, together we can help that to happen. Well, what's happened in the wireless miracle is there were 2 billion people that had phones that paid contracts. Over the last 5 years, that's gone to over 5 billion, and all the growth has been in prepaid. And we're almost at the same point with the PC and broadband where the phone was 5 years ago, where there's 2 billion people. We start looking at the 3rd billion, the 4th billion, and most of these are prepaid on mobile. They don't have the cash flow, they don't want the monthly contracts, and they can't commit to them because they don't know next month's income or the months after. But often they can get enough money to buy a PC and pay for broadband as they use it. It's exactly what they've done with the phones. So we're going to try and bring the same kind of capabilities to that. Now what that means is you need lower cost PCs to go with this, reduce the cost, and specifically target them with prepaid broadband exactly the same way that the phones have done. Lower cost hardware, service that you pay for as you use when you can afford it. And the model is just beginning. And the place I see it the most prevalent is in Africa. 97% prepaid phones in Africa. They expect to do prepaid. So you talk to them about broadband, many of them are doing it already. Southeast Asia, a little bit in Sri Lanka, South Asia, small amounts in Latin America. So it's just about to start, and our role is to get low-cost PCs with this prepaid, start getting the telecoms and the stores to start taking it to market. You see the cloud and lots of services are taking place in the cloud. But some of the trade-offs are that if you have limited amounts of broadband because you're doing prepaid, you cannot download everything from the cloud every time you sign on. So a good example is there's a program in Vietnam that's called a PC for every home. Every home gets these. There is, because of the affordability in Vietnam, so you want the PCs to go to beyond 10% or 15% of the population, these come with limited amounts of broadband and prepaid amount. So the way you work this is, for example, every one of the PCs from my home in Vietnam has English language learning on it. We got this from the British Council. It's 1.5 gigabyte of memory. You load that on the PC, so it's always there, so that when you turn the PC on, you don't have to download 1.5 gig of English language from the cloud. It's already on the PC. So you can bundle and work things to both limit the amount you download, but make the most capabilities of it. The electricity in the grid has been solved by many places. You go to Inner Mongolia in China, everyone lives in yurts, and yet outside them you will see a standard size solar panel. You'll see a small 1 meter windmill. There'll be 1 or 2 car batteries for the charge. They'll have a satellite dish, and they'll have their antenna for the phones on a pole. And that way they'll have their lamp, they'll have their TV, they'll have their broadband, they'll have their radio, and they'll have all the capabilities there. And I've used this and I've sent megabits of photos back to our headquarters very, very quickly from that. Now that yurt picks up and moves somewhere else a few months later for new grass for the sheep or new areas where it's wet for the crops. And so there's places that have solved this, and rather than keep reinventing, we need to package up what's been done and show people this can be done. Here's how you share these best known methods that have been solved in a different part of the world. The biggest trend in publishing content though is interactive. It's video, it's flash animated. The children want to interact with it and have fun, and you're typically seeing that more on the tablet devices or on the computer devices. And to accelerate that, the media companies, not just the book companies, are actually providing some of that media available. So at Intel we have a program called school.com. It's a math and science portal. It's all flash animated. And we have school.com in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Kenya, in South Africa, in Tanzania, where they're using it because it's interactive and fun. People like to see models and movements, and rather than just text-based. Well, the Commission has a tremendous amount of people here from all around the world that have immense resources. So bringing us together to discuss common problems and driving them is critical. Telecom 2011 is coming up in October. It's not very far away. So putting that agenda down so we can talk about the broadband, we can make recommendations to government, we can show capabilities that are going on there. And hopefully I'd like to report out on some of this prepaid broadband and low-cost PCs, Telecom 2011, because we'll have some real good information then to see exactly what a difference that's making to the huge amounts of people that can't afford monthly contracts.